What's up everybody, Matt Maran here, and today I was fortunate enough to be able to attend the reveal of the 2020 Toyota Corolla, which is all new. And as you can see, like other new Toyotas, there will be two appearance packages available. First off, the dark blue one there was the XLE, it's a milder look, and then there's the XSE here, which is the sportier version. And so the sportier looks will also be available on the lower cost SE model as well. LED headlights are standard, with adaptive headlights being optional that'll actually turn in corners with you. The XSE looks great to me though in this celestite gray metallic. So L, LE, and XLE trims use a revised version of the current Corolla's 1.8 liter engine with more power and better fuel economy, although they didn't have exact numbers for us yet. The SE and XSE actually have more performance to go with those sportier looks though, and get the new 2 liter dynamic force direct and port injected 4-cylinder with 169 horsepower and 151 pound-feet of torque like the Corolla hatchback. It also gets the 6-speed manual option from the Corolla hatchback with its auto rev match downshifts and hill start assist, which is awesome. And it also, you can get it with the excellent dynamic shift CVT if you want an automatic, but that uses a physical first gear still and then switches over to the CVT once you're up and running to help it feel a little more natural, which is a really nice feature. And I found that whenever I was even doing manual shifting with the CVT in the hatch that I reviewed, it was really snappy and was a really probably the best CVT that I've personally ever used in a vehicle so far. It was really impressive. The trunk in the Corolla hatch was also really impressive to me. I mean, the lighting wasn't great. I apologize. It's kind of dark, but it goes really far back. And honestly, it's probably the largest compact sedan trunk that I think I've encountered. I mean, just a really large amount of space and really impressive. The inside's also very impressive. So, you know, it's a very similar interior, basically identical to the Corolla hatch. So you can watch my review on that for all my thoughts on it. But they all inside get the 8-inch touchscreen except for the base L model, which gets a 7-inch touchscreen instead. But they all get standard Apple CarPlay and Amazon Alexa. No Android Auto still, unfortunately. But then on the gauge cluster, you get a 7-inch digital driver display and the gauges on the upper trims there, and I showed off that in the hatch review. But the lower trims even get the 4.2-inch color display in the middle of the gauges there, which is still a really nice little display. And the seats here in the Corolla looked really good as well. Now, they were sporty here in the XSE, and I really like the fabric and leather combo in that. And then the back seat in the Corolla looks pretty good. It looks pretty similar to the hatchback, but I'll have to do a full review to get a good feel for it. But for a vehicle of this class, I think it seems like a pretty good amount of space. There's also an available 9-speaker JBL stereo with 800 watts as well. And it also gets this nice leather-like soft text upholstery on these higher trims as well. So a few other things about the Corolla. So it's on the all-new TNGA platform, so that gives it all kinds of improvements. They've first off ditched the torsion beam rear suspension for a multi-link setup on all models, so that gives you better handling and ride comfort. Also, that platform allows them to lower the center of gravity, along with about a 60% improvement in torsional rigidity. The wheelbase is the same 106.3 inches as the last Corolla, but that's basically the only dimension it shares with the old Corolla. Otherwise, it has wider front and rear tracks. Other dimensional changes, it has a 1.3 inch shorter front overhang there, while the rear overhang was lengthened by over half an inch. So stretch it out a little bit there in the back. The overall height is 0.8 inches lower as well, even though it still has really good headroom, along with a hood that's actually lowered 1.4 inches for better visibility as well. Another great thing, speaking of visibility and safety, is that all Corollas for 2020 have standard Toyota Safety Sense 2.0, which gives you, the autonomous braking under emergency circumstances, of course. It also has dynamic cruise control, though. And on the automatic versions with the CVT, it's full speed capability. So it'll even do stop and go traffic and things like that. If you have the manual, you still get it. It just deactivates under a certain speed. And it also has lane trace assist, which will help keep the vehicle centered in its lane, lane departure warning and assist, all those types of things to reduce driver fatigue and help with additional safety there while driving on the road. And overall, the sedan is 2.4 inches longer than the hatch, actually, and I think it actually looks really good, especially in the XSE sportier trims. Whenever I first saw a picture, I wasn't totally sure, but then once I saw it in person and saw some other pictures and videos of it moving there, I think it actually looks really good. I like the additional little LED lamps you have there on the XSE. I still love those headlamps that are, brought over from the hatch with those triple J LED accents in them, and it's just just looks really good. And I mean, even the standard LEs and XLE Corollas look pretty good. It's a slightly milder version of what you got on the hatch. The hatch just had a little bit more aggression and some fog lamps, but a similar shape for the grille. I think the front end looks a little bit better than the back, but I think the back end still looks really cool as well. I like the dual exhaust you have there on the right hand side, and the tail lamps are a little bit bigger, and you have the little spoiler here on the XSE, a little rear diffuser type treatment, and I also like the little part that breaks up the taillights there in the middle of the trunk lid. And so overall, I think it's a pretty good look. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on the new 2020 Toyota Corolla Sedan in the comments below. Thank you guys very much for watching. Be sure to watch the Corolla hatchback review that I'll have linked here at the end if you're curious to hear my thoughts on how it drives with that new engine and new platform. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.